evening, all. My name is Poonam Arora, and it is my distinct pleasure to be the MC for this event. Some of you may have been expecting another MC, but unfortunately, he was unable to do this event. I'm taking over at the last minute. Despite a little nervousness, I hope to do the very best I can. Today's event is devoted to happiness through inner peace. For those of you who've been following our weekly broadcasts, we have been focusing on happiness from various perspectives. Some weeks ago, we talked about happiness through indigenous practices. Before that, we talked about happiness or lack thereof during COVID times. Happiness is a very complex and broad subject, so we're trying to attack it or trying to approach it from as many perspectives as we can, because we don't want a very superficial understanding of happiness. It's complex, it is difficult, it calls for practice, it calls for cooperation, and we are going to try and amalgamate all of these to move forward as the mission of our foundation. This event today is the weekly or monthly event of the XENA family, but sponsored particularly by the XENA Outreach Foundation. And I have the distinct pleasure of opening the event right now. Welcome to you all. Let me begin with perhaps the youngest and most important whiz kid of our community. This is Sushil, who is going to be our technical facilitator. Sushil Sudhe is a student of class 8. He studies at the Tagore International School in Basant Vihar, New Delhi. He's an ardent artist and likes to practice in various mediums, including charcoal, pencil, watercolor, acrylic, etc. Just as an aside, when I was in 8th grade, I didn't even know that it was possible to use these various mediums to express oneself visually. He's passionate about people of the war zones, as he feels they go through a lot of suffering. Yes, Sushil, we are surrounded by war, and the closest war to us today is in Afghanistan, and our hearts bleed for the victims of that war, a war that has ended but really has not ended. So I am very impressed with your commitment to peace. The interest in war is actually an interest in how we can wage peace. Sushil is also part of a special global coding event where he learned about the red planet. I am imagining that he's talking about Mars, and took part in an exciting mission Mars coding hackathon. I was also very delighted to hear that Sushil is interested in hacking, but towards a positive purpose. He's also an excellent swimmer and football player. He has tried his hand at hockey, skating, swimming, etc. And most recently, he was part of the Independence Day celebrations at his school. His interests are further elaborated in his habit for reading and research on militants, as well as the role that they play in a globally interconnected world today. Sushil, we are honored and delighted that you are part of this community, and we all extend our blessings to you. My next introduction is for Narendra Kumar, also our technical supporter for sound and recording. Let me give you an introduction to Narendra. I just want to say briefly that Narendra is a very well-accomplished media person. Again, what he's doing for us pro bono and giving of his time and his expertise is greatly appreciated. If we were to engage such a professional, we would probably not be able to afford his fees. And I am very grateful that he has decided to give up his time pro bono for this and other events organized by XENA.
Thank you.
I will ask Narendra now to play the vision video for our
Sure.
audience. Over to you, Narendra.
XENA World Vision Document. We are a family, bringing joy, happiness, prosperity in our lives and around by nurturing, encouraging, catalyzing, enabling 360-degree well-being in physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and economic dimensions. Our vision: abundance of joy, happiness, care, and prosperity for all. Our mission: we strive for alleviating pain, suffering, and poverty, encouraging unshackled free thoughts, enabling dignified jobs and livelihood, nurturing close family bonding, seeking joy and happiness in the impact caused. Our values: passion, work with passion and from heart. Our values: humility, learning attitude, mutual respect, and open to listening to others. Our values: integrity, sincere, honest, and ethical principles. Our values: empathy, understand and feel others as your own. Our values: humanity, have compassion, brotherhood, fellow feeling, and kindness. Our values: joy, work that brings joy and value diversity and inclusion. Our character: trust, belief, faith, and confidence in self and in others, from where love and compassion emanate. Our character: virtue, high moral values, patience, consideration, trustworthiness, and forgiveness. Our character: transparency, honesty, openness, and not guarded. Thank you.
Thank you. I will say a few words about how this event will flow today. For those of you attending, it's important to understand the larger structure of the event and what will follow so that you are ready and fully receptive to the messages that we are going to convey. There are two main speakers, Meena Tilak Raj and Manish Agarwal. Before we introduce the speakers, I want to invite Priyanka Manjari to give the keynote and the welcome address to this event. Priyanka, may I invite you, please?
Thank you, ma'am. I am privileged for having been entrusted with the accountability of delivering today's keynote and welcome address. I am here in front of you only because the foundation has faith in giving opportunity to all. I am thankful to the organizers for having chosen me to do so in today's event. XENA Outreach Foundation is a national not-for-profit organization registered under Societies Registration Act. Its main objective is social program integrator and aggregator, and some of the activities that Jana Outreach Foundation is involved in tie-ups with other credible NGOs to create a win-win situation, program execution for Jana International Foundation to organize revenue generating events, sustainable project sharing with Jana Global Family Foundation. Having said that, I would like to tell all of you that I have chosen Jana because I choose to live by choice, not by chance. I am here to make changes, not excuses. I am here to be useful, not used, to excel, not compete. I choose to listen to my inner voice, not the random opinions of others. I, I welcome all of you, the valued guests here, our esteemed MC Dr. Poonam Arora, speakers Miss Meena Tilakraj and Mr. Manish Agarwal, moderator Miss Mridula Das, Mr. Sanjay Prasad, our sound and recording expert Mr. Narendra Mishra, and last but not the least, technical facilitator Master Susim Sudhir, the youngest amongst us. Dr. Poonam Arora, I'll read her profile. Dr. Poonam Arora retired in 2017 as the Associate Dean of the College and Rosenfeld Chair for Diversity and the Liberal Arts at Grinnell College in the US. She did her PhD in English and Film Studies from SUNY Binghamton. Her career began with teaching film and literature at the University of Michigan, Dearborn in 1989. She then expanded her teaching, research, and administrative service service as the chair of the Humanities Department 2002 to 2007 to all of the humanities disciplines. From 2007 to 9, she was the Associate Dean of the College of Arts and Science at Zayed University in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. Here, she facilitated the development of a liberal arts curriculum for a young and affluent nation by its women students. Dr. Arora has turned her experience in teaching the humanities into policies and practices for strengthening the liberal arts through social justice, equity, and diversity in higher education in the US, the Middle East, and now India. She received her school and college education at Delhi Public School, Mathura Road, and St. Stephen's College, Delhi. As Senior Vice President at Jana Global Family Foundation and Jana World, she is focused on building a strong civil society committed to addressing the problems of contemporary India within a post-COVID and global context. She is currently working on a book tentatively titled The Indic Liberal Arts for the 21st Century: Policy, Prospects, and Problematics. My sincere gratitude to all of you. Thank you for taking your time out from your busy schedule and becoming a part of this event. Today, we are here to talk about happiness that we get through inner peace, which means we will be discussing about a state of mind where serenity and satisfaction exist with all other unsolicited elements being constant and carry with us a few takeaways to follow in life if possible. Rather, we should make it possible to follow. Our distinguished speakers will enlighten us more about their experience and expertise on this subject. It is believed that people that happiness and it is believed that the happiness of the people depends on one's deeds. If bad deeds are there in our behavior, the happiness will go. But this is not the case. One can always correct the bad deeds through peace of mind, and this is the time when peace of mind plays pivotal role. We must understand that the pursuit of inner peace is more significant than search for delights by achieving success in life. Peace has very vast horizon with several meanings. Inner peace in general means a very state of either physiological or spiritual calmness, notwithstanding the potential presence of obstacles. It is tranquil without any violence. Inner peace refers to emotional self regulation and the ability to achieve a state of dynamic emotional equilibrium and competence, as referred by Ward. Peace and happiness theories are connected to affirmative mindset. They are positive human experience. They create serenity, harmony, and well being. One of the important traits of happiness through inner peace is change. The moment we stop resisting the change, suffering vanishes and inner peace settles. We only need to let go of our mind's attachment. Another facet of this could be just be happy in the current time for no reason and just do your best. The calmness is achieved by this way. We should focus on fulfilling needs than running for wants. Needs are few, wants are endless. If we run behind wants, our peace will be hampered. Believing in self is an absolute mantra to receive happiness through inner peace. Be you yourself, no matter what others think and talk of you. I am an example myself. My origin is Bihar. I am raised in Delhi, studied in a pioneer school and college, yet I never got influenced by any kind of surroundings. I am an overreactive individual, but carry my inner peace to deal with difficult situations and I am saved. Believe you me. I read a lot about divinity. I believe in kindness and remain calm and humane through this practice. It helps in accepting self without any point of rejection. And accepting self is a great happiness. Remember, each one of us are unique, and that matters a lot. Being grateful for all that you have in life is one way to achieve inner peace and happiness. The everlasting mantra of happiness achieved through inner peace is forgive yourself for all wrongs, whether it is annoyance or any sins. Love yourself deeply. Treasure yourself. This will free you from struggles. Marvin Gaye says, if you can't find peace within yourself, you will never find it anywhere else. Happiness is the new rich, inner peace is a new success, health is the new wealth, kindness is the new poor. Always carry these thoughts with you and remain happy. I hope that you have a better hold of inner peace and happiness. The path to inner peace and happiness is not tough. Instead, it is easy. Just be simple and lead a simple lifestyle. If you have any thought, any further thought, or if you know anything better, you can share with us so that those who are present here can take these with them and learn from these learnings further. You can recommend books if you know a few to refer. Thank you for taking time to attend. May there be happiness in all. May there be peace in all. May there be completeness in all. May there be success in all. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Priyanka. Actually, after you've expressed your views so eloquently, so poetically, so philosophically, I really don't feel that you need an introduction. But how
I,
did you get here? So
I
I'm going to say a little bit about your life.
okay,
Priyanka
ma'am.
is a self-regulated humanist. Um, by this, I understand. Everybody that believes in humanity will say he or she is a humanist, but it calls for certain choices. So when I say, or when Manjari describes herself as a self-regulated humanist, I understand by this a humanist by choice, not by default. And Manjari, I hear that in every word that you just spoke. Uh, she's very well qualified in terms of her academic expertise and her exposure to a variety of disciplines, such as her training in business administration, in which she has a master's, and also in politics. She's fluent in French and Spanish. This is out of her own interest. She's an expert in public relations, leadership, and administration and coordination. She has it takes me a few seconds, more than a decade and a half of working experience in civil society associated with various non-government organizations. She is very, very careful in how she spends her time in guiding, suggesting, and coordinating issues of concerns in a civil society. Currently, Manjari is working with the India Habitat Center, one of the premier institutions in Delhi, and where she has a very important role providing the physical environment to serve for the Habitat Center to serve as a catalytic agent for synergistic relationships between individuals and institutions, working in diverse habitat-related areas, and she therefore maximizes the total impact and effectiveness of this institution called India Habitat Center. Her strength is based on dealing with the course of life that comes her way. And the statement that she read actually is so self-evident. She is, in my mind, a true Buddhist. And so I say Buddhist because I think that Buddhism is the distillation of all the facets of Hinduism that connect us to happiness. Perhaps her greatest achievement is that she's the mother and parent of a brilliant, as I said, a whiz kid. And I would say, of all the things we do in our world today, parenting is the most difficult, most challenging, and yet the most rewarding commitment that we have in society. It is as parents that we indirectly connect to building a civil society through our children, through our neighbors, through our nephews and nieces, etc. And having seen Priyanka working at the India Habitat Center, I can attest personally to the valuable, selfless, absolutely committed role that she plays in this society. So thank you, Priyanka, for being a member of our organization. You do us very proud.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful introduction and good work. You are so kind. Thanks a lot.
I'm reading from what you gave me. I'm speaking from the heart because this is what I've observed about you. This is what I've realized in interaction with you. And this can be only showcased by a person who observes you, not by your degrees, not by your achievements, by the spirit with which you engage with civil society and believe in the fact that we need a strong civil society. I'm not sure we're there yet. Let's go on. Naren, can I ask you to play the recent milestones video, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
think.
At the end of it, Narendra?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just say a word. These may look like just a collage of stills of people meeting at various places and taking group photographs. But don't be deceived. Hours and hours of preparation goes into each meeting. And every meeting, which goes on for a few hours, is brainstorming, teasing out the path forward. We don't just meet to have coffee or to have pictures taken or to present certificates to each other. Having attended a few of these meetings, even during COVID times last year and earlier this year, I can attest to the fact that they are sessions where we really challenge and test each other. We are people from very, very diverse backgrounds. We've never met each other before. We don't know what are the secret agenda items that people come with. But we work very hard to forge a unity, which is the tip of the iceberg. So these pictures are really the tip of the iceberg that indicates all the work that goes on at the meetings, before the meetings, and after the meetings. So this is a very important part of how we show our workings. They are not just memories, they are glimpses of the hard work that goes into this organization. Sorry, I give that even though that's not in the program, because sometimes people forget why we're looking at these photographs. Now to the main part of our program. It's my distinct pleasure to introduce Ms. Meena Tilakraj. She asserts that she is a woman, a mother, and a grandmother first, and then a professional. She's a passionate storyteller. She promotes tourism for global goodwill and understanding. She's an expert on what a term she has designed called travelism, and she is a pioneer in alternative education. Besides, she calls herself, and others have designated her, the Smile Ambassador. I am so envious of this title. I wish somebody would bestow this title on me. And she's a social do-gooder. Meena was among the pioneers of alternative education as far back as 1983, when she started the PLUS program and has been doing workshops on life skills and soft skills. Meena believes women, and that by that I mean, I'm sure she means women and girls, youth and senior citizens play a very vital role in society today. Meena ji, we are honored to have you here speaking to us. Over to you. Meena ji?
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry I didn't hear the last sentence. And thank you very much for a very eulogical kind of introduction that you have given. And I will certainly try to sort of come true to it. I was hearing what Priyanka ji said, what Poonam ji said, and even the others, and even what Narendra ji said. And I was also kind of literally deciphering the entire video also of the what XENA stands for. And plus, I have been thinking, I have thought a lot about the topic of today also. Although I was told that I am to speak about meditation, and even Manishi will later on add on to it by giving a very, very good experience for meditation. But before I really speak about meditation, I would like to say a few things first, a few things. Like you'll just mention happiness. Now, this happiness thing, I have been seeing, because I'm also into life skills and soft skills, and I have been hearing about happiness a lot. Just like I hear a lot about being a millionaire and a billionaire and then a trillionaire and a zillionaire. It's like you can never be happy unless you're a zillionaire, you know. And then there are people, somebody says, I've got a happiness club. Somebody says, I'm a happiness ambassador. Somebody says, I'm happiness expert. I'm happiness this, I'm happiness that. And this set me thinking, you know. And one of the things that we have been told that will give you inner peace and happiness is meditation. And that is how meditation came into it. But talking about happiness, there's so much of talk, how will you be happy? In fact, I also made the blunder of doing some workshops on the chemistry of happiness and saying that you can be happy if you practice this chemistry. But at the same time, at the back of my mind, I had this thing that even if you practice the chemistry of happiness, one cannot be happy all the time. You cannot, because happiness is not the only emotion which makes you complete. We talk about navarasas, 9 emotions. What happens to the other 8 emotions if you're seeking happiness all the time? And it's a paradox that while you're seeking happiness all the time, you go through the other emotions, right? You go through hope, you go through sorrow, you go through pain, you go through anger. So you can't be happy all the time, which only shows that it's a path to happiness. Now, this path to happiness is different from the path to success. The path to success is generally very materialistic, but the path to happiness is through the path of peace. And peace is a state of mind. Happiness becomes conditional very often. I shall be happy if, I shall be happy when, you know, or I was happy when this happened, when that happened. I have done this experiment with a number of people, and I've asked them to list out 5 times when they were, or rather 3 times when they were very happy about something big, and 3 times when they were happy about something even small. And they all mentioned something, but they couldn't get the key of it. What was underlined was that you were happy when you got what you desired at that moment. So it is conditional. What you got, I was happy when my son was born. I was happy when I passed my graduation, and so on. So it was conditional. You were happy when you got what you wanted. So it becomes conditional. Whereas peace of mind is a state of mind. And that will lead to my next major talk, that is meditation. How will you do it? How does meditation come into peace of mind? Really, peace of mind is basically a state of mind. Happiness could be conditional, but peace of mind is a state of mind. And what is it dependent on? The peace of mind is dependent on acceptance and surrender to the power of now. Now is no other way. At this moment, it is now 4 o'clock p.m., 4:38 p.m. And I am saying 4:38 p.m. This is the reality. The power of now is the womb of the future. Now is the womb of creativity. Now is the womb of being. Now is the womb of existence. So unless you accept the now, you will not be peaceful. So am I telling you to be fatalistic? But of course not. Of course not. I am not telling you to be fatalistic. I am saying that you exercise the power of now, you leverage the power of now. And how will you leverage? By first of all accepting, okay, right now it is 4:39 p.m. Right now, outside it is cloudy. Right now, it is daytime. Right now, it is monsoon period. Till you don't accept what is, Om Soham, till you don't accept what is, and then will you be able to work around it. And that what you do when you work around it, that is when you're creating the future. Very often people say karma is action. Some people say karma is duty. Some people say, but karma is the seed of the future. What you do with the now. And how will you accept this now? There's again another rider. You will accept this now when you have faith in the cosmic intelligence and cosmic justice. When you believe that whatever is occurring, all that occurs which is without your control is obviously controlled by something else. And that is controlled by the cosmic intelligence. That is controlled by the cosmic energy. And you have to, just like a child trusts his mother, and he just drops himself or herself in the mother's lap, knowing that the mother will hold the child. Similarly, you've got to hold, you've got to let yourself be in the lap of cosmic intelligence, in the lap of Mother Nature's justice. Whatever Mother Nature does, whatever the cosmic energy and cosmic intelligence does, is for the good of the universe, and you are included in that universe. So that is where meditation comes in. Meditation is when you allow the universe to speak to you. When you allow the universal energy to get into you. The scope of meditation is not just peace of mind. It is not just health, peace of mind, your blood pressure will be taken care of, your this will be taken care of, that will be taken care of. That is not, those are byproducts of meditation. Meditation goes far beyond that. Meditation aligns you to the cosmic energies. Just like Vastu Shastra aligns, the science of architecture is different, but Vastu Shastra is different. Vastu Shastra actually is a science which aligns the structure, whatever the structure is, the house, the office, or whatever, the temple. It aligns the structure to the movement of the cosmic energies. Similarly, yoga and meditation are, in fact, meditation is a part of yoga, one of the steps of yoga. Right? So that helps you mentally and emotionally to align. And whereas yogic exercises, Hatha Yoga, makes you physically aligned. Now, there are many myths about meditation. There are doubts about meditation. And that is the reason why there are so many people who are not able to benefit from meditation, because they say, no, I cannot do it. ओ मेडिटेशन में तो ये करना पड़ेगा, मेडिटेशन में तो चुप रहना पड़ेगा, मेडिटेशन में दिमाग खाली करना पड़ेगा, मेडिटेशन में I will have to stop thinking. अरे, how will you stop thinking? You're a living human being. Thinking, thoughts that come to you are just a testimony that you're alive. How can you stop thinking? You don't even fully stop thinking in your sleep, because your subconscious mind is there. So how can you ever stop thinking? You can't. if you want to stop thinking, well, you know what I mean, then you stop being. And I'm sure many of you, so many, everybody wants to hold on to dear life, right? We don't want to quit so easily, do we? We love life. And if you love life, then meditation can give you that joy which you're seeking, provided you are not a victim of those doubts and myths that all this is to be done. I have been doing meditation since the age of 5 years. My grandmother introduced me to meditation and to storytelling. So I'm an ardent storyteller. And I tell the stories that I heard from my grandmother and some added ones. Anyway, so meditation, what she told us was, कुछ नहीं, जैसे हो वैसे बैठे रहो, चुपचाप बैठे रहो, हिलो मत, कुछ मत करो. And she did not tell me sit like this, sit like that. She did not tell me empty your mind. She just said sit quietly. And after a little while, after a few weeks, months, she said, when you're sitting, try and listen to what you hear around you. So I used to ask her, कि वो ना thoughts आते हैं, mind में कुछ कुछ होता है, तो she used to say, होने दो, वो होने दो, आप सुनने की कोशिश करो. So you are actually hearing the cosmic sounds, hearing the silence, the music of the silence. So what am I trying to say in that case? What I'm trying to say is that when you advance in your advanced stages, automatically your mind and body will take you to the right position, to the right way to do it, whatever. But when you're a beginner, you don't deprive yourself of the joy of meditation because of your doubts and fears and myths. What is the first myth? The first myth that people have is empty your mind. Once we were sitting at a doctor's clinic, my mother and myself, my mother had to go to the doctor, and before her was another lady. And she went inside, and when she came out, she was muttering to herself. So we asked her, what is it? What happened? She's saying, Ajeeb doctor hai. I went inside, I told him my problems, and he said, बस अपना दिमाग पहले खाली करो. अरे दिमाग कोई कप थोड़ी है, उल्टा कर दिया तो खाली हो गया. How do I empty my mind? That is what I want to know. No, you don't have to empty your mind. You have to accept your mind. जैसे बच्चे को बोलते हैं, हाँ कोई बात नहीं. When you say, put the defenses down from the other person who's upset. Just say okay and put the defenses down. So you've got to put your mental defenses down and just accept, yes, I'm thinking. Yes, these thoughts are coming, because these thoughts are a testimony to you being alive. Next doubt. Mates, I cannot sit in one position. I keep moving. I cannot sit in the lotus pose. Don't sit in the lotus pose. We were told, even when I grew up and I went for formal meditation classes, even there, in the beginning, we were told, you want to lie down, lie down. You want to sit, sit. You want to sit on a chair, sit on a chair. You want to sit on the floor, sit on the floor. You want to cross your legs, cross your legs. You want to stretch your legs and sit, sit, stretch your legs. No problem. There is no problem. For a beginner, there are no such rules. As long as you take any position and try and stay in that position for as long as you can. And whilst you're sitting in that position, if your thoughts come, say, yes, okay, I'm thinking. These are thoughts. The moment you surrender to your thoughts, or allow your mind to put its defenses down, that thought will go automatically. But new thoughts will come. Never mind. Slowly and gradually, thoughts keep melting, new thoughts keep coming. It's like the sea. A new wave comes, it fizzles off. Then another wave comes, it fizzles off. So thoughts are like that. They're like waves in the sea. As long as the sea is active, when water becomes stagnant, there is no wave. But when water has life in it, there are waves. So you have life in you. There'll be waves of thoughts. Next, oh, I need a mala. I have to have a rosary to meditate. No, you don't need that. You have an eternal divine rosary given to you the moment you were born, and that rosary will remain with you for your full life till the end of your life. Which is that rosary? Friends, I would like to see your faces. Is it possible? Because I only see a picture of Prajna, and in between, yeah. So you have the rosary with you the moment you were born. Can anybody tell me what is that rosary?
Our ability to think.
Sushim says ability to think. Somebody else. What is that rosary which you are born with? Yes, Mridula
Breathing, breathing.
Ji? Ye kaun bola?
Priyanka.
Priyanka, you're spot on. Your breath is your rosary. You, ab ye socho, suppose you become dependent on your rosary and someday you lose your rosary. You're stuck. You can't meditate. Arey, where's my rosary? You know? And I have seen my grandmother, when she didn't have her rosary, her finger would still go on like this. You know? Now, suppose she hurts her finger, then what happens? So, no rosary? You don't need the rosary. You have your rosary with which you are born. Another myth. I need a picture. I need something to concentrate on. And what happens when you don't have that picture? Another myth. I need a mantra. कोई ओम 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 बोल देता है, कोई ओम सोहम बोलता है, कोई ओम नमो शिवाय बोलता है. People say something or the other, some mantra or the other, some guru has given them some mantra, some grandmother or mother has said, okay, ye mantra bolo. Yeah, some book they have read some mantra and they keep chanting that mantra, right? Believe me, when you do pure meditation, even saying anything will not matter. It doesn't matter whether you say or don't say, whether you chant a mantra, you don't chant a mantra, because these things, mantra, a light, a lamp, an object, a dot on the wall, a picture, a rosary, all these things, they are nothing but props for meditation. That somehow you concentrate on this. When you concentrate on a single thing, then your mind will not waver on other things. That is why very many people try to make it easy for you by telling you to use a prop. But it becomes very derogatory at times, because then you become so dependent on that prop that you cannot do without it. It is self-hypnotization, that the moment that prop is in your hand, you start doing meditation. The moment the prop is not there, you are lost. You cannot do it. So there's no need of all these props. You can do it without. And I don't know how much time I'm taking. How much time do I have now? Another 5 minutes? Hello, nobody answering? Who's the timekeeper? Hello? Somebody please answer. Where's Rajiv?
We need to keep the track, I guess.
How much more time, Rajiv ji, do I have?
4:54. Yeah, I mean, you're on the last phase.
5 minutes?
So, I mean, let's not go by 5 minutes. I mean, you're just on the last.
Okay. So, ये तो हो गया कि don't have these myths and doubts. You want to get the benefit and the joy of meditation, please do it. Never mind. If you're thinking, the bottom line is accept whatever. Even if the most horrible thoughts come to you, I want to kill that person, I hate that, never mind. Accept those thoughts. Accept, surrender, accept that yes, these thoughts are there. I am getting these thoughts. Just tell yourself, हाँ मुझे आ रहा है, ये thought आ रहा है. Accept that your mind is thinking this way, you know, and calm it down. Okay, I understand these thoughts are coming. Okay, I understand. And these thoughts are coming because I'm alive, because I'm breathing. Once you accept a thought and you say, okay, you're thinking, no problem, aage chalo, and you will move on. Now, another thing where people have their doubts about is the scope of meditation. Very many people say, when you're angry, sit and meditate. When you're stressed, sit and meditate. Believe me, at least I have tried. When I'm angry, I cannot meditate. Hota hi nahi, because that anger is coming, you know, it's repeating. When you're stressed, you're constantly thinking about that issue. When you're angry, you're constantly thinking about that person or that moment, why you're angry, that event, what's making you angry. You can't meditate. So what do? You sit and you think about it. Allow your mind to think about it. Very often it will settle down and it will tell you. Only thing is, keep asking questions in your mind. Okay, I'm angry. What am I angry for? Why am I angry? What did that person do? Why did they do? How did I react? What have I done? What is my contribution to this? What is that person's contribution? Karte karte, you have to meditate on the problem, meditate about the stress issue, meditate about the anger issue. But just plain meditation is not going to help. You will not be able to do it because that thought keeps coming. And the golden rule is acceptance. Thoughts are there, accept. Anger are there, accept you're angry. You're stressed, accept you're stressed. So what is the actual scope of meditation in that case? If it is not to release stress, if it is not to release anger, if it is not to release distress, if it is not to release worry, what is the scope of meditation? The scope of meditation is to align you mentally. Yoga, Hatha Yoga will align you physically, and meditation will align you mentally with the cosmic energies. Ye jo, the principle of abundance and the principle of gratitude, jo hai, where did everything come from? When you were born, did you ask for the next breath? Or when you're living, do you ask for your next breath? You don't. You keep getting it. Do you ask for sunlight? You don't. You keep getting it. You ask for rain? No, you don't. this comes to you naturally. So basically, what are the basic, absolute, fundamental necessities of life? You get them free of cost and you get them without asking, right? And if you notice, if you recall into your life, when you go back also, you will realize that certain things which you did just you, they came in handy later on. Certain things which, some person met you or something happened or something, that had an impact upon some future event or some future requirement, some future challenge. It came in handy. So nothing happens per chance. So golden rule again is, when it happens, when that thing comes to you, accept it. That acceptance, and I'm not saying be fatalistic, I'm saying accept it and start working, put your best around it. There's another word which I would like to give you all, and the word is serendipity. How many of you know what does serendipity mean? Do you know what is serendipity? Hello, can anybody answer me, please? It looks like I'm giving a lecture. Hello, serendipity, what is it? No.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
You can tell us better.
Serendipity is, I can give you an example. There was this farmer who lost his murgi. His murgi got lost. And he was looking for his murgi here and there, full focus. But he had just one thing, that I want to find my murgi. It was hours, it was lunchtime, he forgot his lunchtime, he did not have his breakfast, he didn't have his lunch. He said, no, I have to find my murgi. He went all around the house, all around the courtyard and everywhere, and then he went to the fields. And there were haystacks and haystacks, and he went behind each and every haystack. And what did he find? This young man who was looking for a murgi, behind one of the haystacks, he found a very pretty young girl. Ek murgi dhoond raha tha. He was looking for one type of murgi, and he found this other little girl, a young girl, who had taken shelter because she was running away from somewhere. And he found her. And she said, please marry me, because I don't want to go back home, because they'll get me married to an old man. So he found a young, pretty woman. So serendipity is when you're working for something, you're looking for something, and you find something even better. But how will it happen? When you do what you have to do, fully focused. You never know what the result is going to be. COVID aaya, many people benefited out of serendipity. It was COVID. They said, let's work around COVID, and they've made millions. That's serendipity. When you take full advantage of a situation and you work around it fully focused and you get results, that is serendipity. People call it luck. But luck is invited through serendipity. So meditation will give you that when you meditate, you will be aligned. And very often you will hear of people that they say they ask from the universe and they get it. That is because they have mentally, emotionally, fully aligned themselves to the cosmic energies. And you can do that through meditation. There are two mantras. The first mantra is Om Purnamida Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate, which says the whole universe is a complete, total, perfect, complete totality. And yet every second something is coming out of it which is perfect, which is complete. And what remains is still complete. It is so abundant, it is so full, that things keep coming out of it which are complete, and yet it remains complete. It's just like a mother. A mother gives birth to a child, but she is still complete. And the child whom she gives birth, who can again give birth. It's a beautiful mantra for pregnant ladies. And the second mantra is Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvina Madhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahe, which says, let's all live together, let's all eat together, let's all smile together, let's all work together, and let's all be happy. Let there be nothing that interrupts our togetherness. So this is about collaboration. So you're asking the whole universe to collaborate with you. And when it collaborates with you, it gives you whatever you want, right? So with this, I think I will wind up my talk and tell you that meditation has a much, much higher scope. It is the purpose of aligning your energies to the cosmic energies so that you keep receiving. Reiki also does that. Reiki is on the principle of the same thing, that Reiki, you become a medium. Through one hand you receive and you give through the other hand. Whatever we want is there in the universe. If I may have another 3 minutes, can I tell you all a little incident, a story which happened with me about this? May I? Nobody answered.
Yep. Please. Go ahead, ma'am.
They take him. I'm sorry.
This is just the the app that is mentioning. No issues. Continue, please.
Okay. So he is carried in a palki, wooden palki, and placed in the car. And then wherever he has to go, another machan is ready for him on the tree. And he is taken out in a palki and he's taken up to the machan. He does not touch the ground. And they say that he has kept all his energies intact within himself, because earth is a conductor of energy. So he hasn't lost any energy. His energies are all intact, and he does meditation, and he is a God man. So my mother said, please go. And we went, and there were others who spoke to him. They asked him some questions and this and that. And my mother also asked him. And then we finished. We were the last two, and we left. We were leaving. And when we were leaving, he called out, and he said, I thought probably I've forgotten something, or maybe there's somebody else. So my mother said, no, he's calling you. So I said, yes. He said, आपने कुछ बोला नहीं और ना ही आपने कुछ मांगा. आपने देखा बाकी सब लोग कुछ मांग रहे थे. तो I said, नहीं. And within my stupid chicken brain, I thought that he's got offended because I didn't ask him anything. Everybody was asking him. So he said, I said, नहीं. बोले तो इसका मतलब या तो आपकी सारी इच्छाएं पूरी हो गई हैं, या फिर आपकी कोई इच्छा है ही नहीं. तो दोनों केसेस में मैं आपको नमन करता हूं. I said, नहीं, ये सच नहीं है. ना मेरी इच्छाएं पूरी हुई हैं, ना मैं बिना इच्छा के हूं. तो he said, फिर आपने कुछ बोला क्यों नहीं? तो I said, क्योंकि मेरी जो भी इच्छा है वो आप पूरी नहीं कर सकते हो, वो मुझे खुद को पूरी करनी पड़ेगी. तो he asked me, आपकी इच्छा क्या है? I said, मेरी इच्छा, I'm a normal human being, and मेरी इच्छाएं बहुत नॉर्मल हैं. बंगला, गाड़ी, अच्छा काम चाहिए, अच्छे कपड़े चाहिए, अच्छा, I want everything nice, good things in life. तो he said, मैंने कहा वो आप दे नहीं सकते क्योंकि आप भी तो एक लंगोटी पहनकर बैठे हो, तो आप क्या दोगे मुझे? So you can call it my arrogance, you can call it my stupidity also. तो I said आप तो मुझे मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी. तो he said आपको कहाँ से मिलेगा? I said मुझे मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी, काम करना पड़ेगा, पैसे कमाने पड़ेंगे, उससे मुझे मिलेगा. he said हाँ ये बात सही है, ये तुम्हारी बात सही है, मैं नहीं दे सकता. और मैंने कहा आप जो दे सकते हैं ना वो आपने ऑलरेडी मुझे दे दिया है. he said क्या? I said आप आशीर्वाद तो दोगे ही ना सबको, वो आपने मुझे भी दे दिया, उसका वो मुझे मांगना नहीं पड़ेगा. तो इसलिए मैंने कुछ नहीं मांगा. So he asked me a few questions. To cut it short, he took me by question by question by question. He said, where does everything what you want come from? I kept saying, ye dukaan se aayega, ye distributor laega, all those things. He said, no, finally, where does it all come from? So I knew he is heading somewhere. So I said, acha, theek hai. I give up. Aap bataiye. He said, ये सारा शून्य में से आता है, शून्य में से. सब कुछ पूरी सृष्टि में जो कुछ भी आया है वो एक शून्य में से आया है. और मैं तुम्हें आज एक आशीर्वाद दूंगा कि मैं तुम्हें उस शून्य के साथ में कनेक्ट होने का आशीर्वाद दूंगा. तो तुम्हें जो चाहिए वो उस शून्य में से मिलेगा. Call it my superstition, call it coincidence, call it my belief, call it whatever. I had nothing at that time. I was struggling. By God's grace, today I have everything. उस टाइम के बाद में I have never looked back. तो मैं आप सबको भी ये आशीर्वाद देती हूँ कि through that meditation, connect yourself to the shunya. Surrender yourself to that shunya. You will get whatever you want. That is the scope of meditation. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Meenaji. It was very nice listening to you. It was awesome.
खाली listening से मजा नहीं आएगा. I would love somebody to turn around and tell me after some time कि हाँ आपने जो कहा मैंने समझा और मुझे भी connection मिला.
I understood it quite well, and that
बुद्धि विलास और वाणी विलास से कोई ये सब विलास है. You know, we feel very happy, we hear things and all that. And
that thing about your beginners not able to meditate is very, very nice, because I was not able to meditate because of this problem. Because I have to sit straight. I mean, that's such a pain. Like, how can I sit straight for so long? So that was preventing me. Sorry?
Who is speaking?
This is Projna. Sorry, my face
Projna,
is not there.
I would love to see your face when you're talking.
Yeah, I'm trying to connect. I'm trying to connect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it prevented me from meditating, like trying to sit straight on the ground, all those things. Use of a prop, because I was a beginner. So that put me off meditation forever. So I did not know you can just sit anywhere and just be quiet, and that is how you can start meditating as a beginner. So that tip was very important and interesting for me.
I'm glad you got that. Projna, you can even meditate with your eyes open and with your eyes closed. They say close your eyes because, you know, when we open our eyes, so distraction bahut hota hai.
Yeah.
But when you close your eyes, so you can even sit near a window and meditate. Just look outside and look.
Meenaji, unmute yourself.
I'm sorry. So I'm so sorry. You can meditate even with your eyes open. You know, sit at a window and just look outside at a plant and keep looking at the plant. Believe me, it will start speaking to you.
That's interesting.
Listen to the plant. See what it says. See what every leaf tells you. I mean, look at the wonder of the universe. Look at the wonder of the creator of the universe, that Everything is created so perfect, so perfect. Every bird is different. Uska beak different hai, uske claws different hai, uske par different hai, uska size alag hai. Every bird is different. Every insect is different. Look at the ant. My God, it is such a wonderful piece of engineering, of creation. How wonderful it is. Look at your body.
Meena Didi, can we address these specific questions
Okay.
just after
Yeah.
having the talk of
You have a
Manish Bhai?
point. You're very right. I'm sorry for that, for trespassing this thing.
Mridula Bahan?
Yeah. All our questions, we will address them at the end of the thing,
Mridula Bahan?
combine. And Manish ji and myself will both address your questions. And I think somebody else, whoever has to take up next, can go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
please continue, Madam.
Okay. So is Poonam ji, Poonam, I see Poonam ji here.
No, she's having that bandwidth problem, so
Acha.
that's why she is requested. You can carry on. Yeah.
Acha, theek hai. Okay. So, see, I told you this is what he will do. He'll put me in a spot. I want to say this, that thank you very much, Meena ji, for this wonderful, wonderful, conversation that you shared with us. The points, the concepts that you shared, they were so, beautifully, lucidly explained to lay people like us, people who are not experts in meditation and who have multiple queries about meditation. What I really loved is those myths that you nicely blasted out. This whole thing about the mala, या फिर कोई मंत्र होना चाहिए, या फिर ऐसे बैठना चाहिए, वैसे आंख बंद करनी चाहिए, दिमाग को वैक्यूम बना लेना चाहिए. बहुत सुंदर. And I think इससे हम सबको, all of us, will feel even more encouraged to explore this whole process of meditation, because the way the world has created it, it has become something very esoteric, something which is, so unattainable. And therefore, you have so many people who have created their own mist around it. So there's a fog and there's a mist around it, and everybody is hiding behind it. And generally, people do not tend to think in terms of meditation. What really attracted is the last two shlokas that you did. One where, everything is complete, and from its completeness, other completenesses keep getting created. That we all do things collectively, and therefore, I feel that if all of us endeavor collectively to bring in happiness, to stay connected, to build this whole world, build this universe of collectedness, and stay together. That is what Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavave means. Because the power of the collective is amazing. And I have, I would like to just add one word here before I go on to introducing Manish ji, is that I have personally felt that the power of collective prayer is amazing. And that collective prayer is another kind of meditation. With this, I will take up and introduce Manish ji, our next speaker. Manish ji, please, in advance, I seek your forgiveness if I miss out something about you, because I've just got the profile and I will try to do my best. So I'll just share with all of you Manish ji's profile. Manish ji has over 24 years of experience in India at leadership positions in global multinational organizations like Citibank, Dell, Deloitte. In his last corporate role, he was the chief operating officer of Ujas Energy, in which they were working in the area of renewable energy. He was earlier the vice president of strategy, research and innovation group at Deloitte, US. And he is a strong leader because he has 300, 400 people in his team and in his leadership. Manish ji is a BTech from IIT Kanpur, 1992, and a postgraduate from IIM Ahmedabad, 1995. He's a speaker at various industry forums and has been quoted in leading business media like Economic Times, Reuters, Yahoo, Business Standard, etc. Manish Ji is interested in spirituality and has been practicing heartfulness for the last 27 years. He has also been conducting meditation sessions at leading corporates, business schools, and voluntary organizations. He has been a visiting faculty at SB Jain Institute of Management, Singapore, Dubai, wherein he was teaching decision making and leadership. He was also in the corporate advisory board of IIM Udaipur. Currently, Manish Ji is based at Hyderabad and operates as an independent financial advisor, helping people with their financial investments and insurance. And what a wonderful collaboration of thoughts and ideas, because he's going to talk about meditation. He's going to guide us through meditation today. The stage is yours, Manish Ji.
Thank you so much. We'll start with, I'll just take off from where Meena ji left and explain a little bit about what meditation does. And more importantly, we'll follow that up with a simple meditation exercise, which we'll do for now. So let me start by saying that most of us are aware of our physical and mental beings, which means we are aware of our physical body and we are aware of a mental process which we all have. Now, what are rishis in ancient times? I mean, in India, we have researched the human system much more than probably in any other part of the world, and over very, very long periods of time. And what our rishis discovered is that while our awareness is limited to the physical body and to a mental process, behind this, there is something else. And that has a very vital influence on both the mind and the body. So what they discovered is that behind this physical body, there's another body, which they called it Sukshma Sharir. In English, we can roughly translate it as subtle body, but the real Sanskrit word for that is Sukshma Sharir. And now the Sukshma Sharir itself houses certain things. And what they figured, our rishis, what they figured out was that this Sukshma Sharir carries the impressions of all our thoughts and actions, whether in this life or in previous lives, because they postulated previous lives and then they found ways by which they could connect to previous lives. So they figured out that every time a human being thinks or acts, it leaves an impression in this Sukshma Sharir. Now, in this Sukshma Sharir, what happens is over a period of time, these impressions become stronger and stronger and they become tendencies. You can say they become fossilized. And once they become fossilized, they form our tendencies. And that's why you experience that a child is born with certain tendencies. The child may be a very happy child may be a very aggressive child, maybe a very sober child. And these tendencies are carried forward, not just from this life, but also from previous existences that that person may have. And it is these tendencies which drive our behavior. So if a person is getting angry, it's primarily because the tendency for getting angry is already there in that person. Now, when these rishis discovered or studied this a little more, what they discovered was that behind this Sukshma Sharir is another body, and they called it the causal body, or it is a source of bliss. And our rishis called them the Karan Sharir. So we have the Karan Sharir at the back, which sort of houses the Sukshma Sharir, and beyond the Sukshma Sharir is what we observe is the physical body. The Karan Sharir is the source of all bliss, but we are not aware of that. Even our awareness of the subtle body is very limited. Most of us are not aware of our subtle bodies. Now, what these rishis figured out was that we are missing the source of infinite bliss, primarily because of these tendencies which are stored in the subtle body. Then the question was that how we can, so you can just to, as an analogy, we can think of a lantern. In a lantern, there is light inside us, inside the glass, But if the glass is covered with soot, no light flows out. You cannot see the light. So they likened the tendencies or the impressions on the subtle body to this soot, and the lantern as a Karan Shariri, which is the source of all bliss. So now the next question was, how do we remove this soot, this soot that has gathered, which is preventing us from connecting to the Karan Sharir and connecting to the cosmic energy housed in the Karan Sharir. Now, just as in the physical world, we see technology evolves, right? So in the ancient days, you had all these individuals who wanted to get into the state of bliss. They used to go to the forest. You had Buddha who left his family. You had other great saints who sort of renounced worldly life in order to get rid of these impressions. Now, somewhere in the 1860s, there was a new technology, you can say, which was discovered by one of our rishis. And what they figured out was that it is possible that human beings themselves can become channels of energy, of that divine energy, and through their willpower, they can remove these sources of impression, the impressions that are housed in all of us, which is in the subtle body. They also figured out that there's a divine energy in nature, which they called it pranahuti. And that this pranahuti, when injected into any person, will slowly ease or easily take away the negative tendencies that are already existing in all of us through our past thoughts and actions. So they trained, so when this technology was evolved over a period of time, somewhere around 1860s, then they were able to also create some people who could become these channels of energies, and these people are called trainers. And I was very fortunate to be in touch with one of the persons who was in the line of succession of these gurus, and who in particular trained me how to use this divine energy so that people can get into a state of connectivity with the divine source of bliss. So we have many systems which sort of exist through which spiritual processes occur. Now, in most of these systems, and as Meenaji pointed out, the effort is largely based on the effort of the practitioner. And as many would attest, it is very difficult to meditate on your own, because the moment you meditate, you feel disturbed. Now, when you meditate with a trainer or the person with a channel of energy, that person is able to remove these impressions in a very short span of time. And the effort required on part of the practitioner is minimized. So, for example, in the system we are talking about, which is worldwide known as heartfulness, it requires about 65 minutes of effort on part of the practitioner every day in 3 different parts of the day, while the person lives a very normal worldly life. And the rest, a lot of work in this is also done by the trainer, where through the capabilities or the training imparted to the trainer, that person is able to remove these tendencies. Now, this is a claim made by, say, when I am talking here as a trainer, I am making this claim that these tendencies are getting removed. Now, what is the proof to the practitioner that this is indeed true and that I am not taking the practitioner on a wild goose chase? Now, what will happen as a result of the correct practice of meditation as prescribed in the heartfulness system? People in a very short period of time, which ranges from anywhere between 3 months to 6 months, start experiencing a change in their tendencies. Which means, let's say a person was getting very angry, that person will start feeling that the anger has reduced. Maybe if that person was feeling, I'm taking real case of alcoholics. Person is a very strong alcoholic, he will find that his tendency towards alcohol or his interest in alcohol is coming down. So like this, the practitioner starts feeling a change in the tendencies. And the second thing that happens is that as we start getting connected to that source of bliss, the mind starts becoming very, very joyful from inside and blissful from inside. And this brings me to this question of peace. So we think of peace, but remember, peace is still a static state. It is still not blissful. It is lack of unpeace which brings peace. Now, when we come into this blissful state, our reaction to worldly events also changes. In other words, we are now aware of our cosmic identity. The fact that we are not just this body alone, that there is something behind us which is very grand, which is infinite, which connects all of us in certain ways. And therefore, our worldview changes by our own experience, not because somebody is telling us, but because now our consciousness has changed and we are able to experience that joy, bliss, and infinity within us. So, with these words, what we will do is we'll do a small meditation exercise just now. I'll just tell you what we will do from now for the next possibly 20 minutes. You will sit down wherever you are very comfortable, in a very, very comfortable pose. And you will just suppose that there is divine light in the heart. When I say please start, I will say please start. And when I say please start, just gently sit down, close your eyes, and suppose that there is divine light in the heart. It's just a supposition. Don't try to force yourself to see the light. Now, when you will actually do that, what will happen is a lot of thoughts will come. Now, please don't try to stop those thoughts from coming. Let them come. They are coming because of those past tendencies. So let these thoughts come. At some point, what will happen is your mind will recollect that your mind has wandered here and there. At that time, very gently come back to the idea of, or to the supposition that there is divine light in the heart. And this process you keep continuing till I say that's all. So the process starts when I say please start, and the process ends when I say that's all. And roughly this will be about 20 minutes. I'm repeating the method again. When I say please start, close your eyes. Suppose that there is divine light in the heart. When you will do that, a lot of thoughts will start coming into your mind. Don't try to suppress those thoughts. Don't try to avoid them. Let them come. At some point, you will recollect that your mind has wandered away from the divine light in the heart. At that time, very gently suggest or bring your mind back gently to the supposition that there is divine light in the heart. And we'll continue this process for about 20 minutes. I will be sitting and meditating with you, and I will be using this method of pranahuti or transmission that we call. And we will, after the process is over and I say that's all, we'll have a short discussion on what transpired. So with this, I suggest please close your eyes and please start. That's all. You may gently open your eyes and observe what you felt during the last 15-20 minutes. Anybody would like to share?
I was feeling heaviness.
Okay, very good. Who was this? I didn't hear.
Priyanka.
Okay. Anybody else would like to share whatever they felt? Heavy, light, good, bad, disturbed, undisturbed?
I started off feeling quite light, but then I got distracted.
Okay.
Very peaceful.
Anybody who felt as if they have gone to sleep or sleepy?
No. I was very peaceful, very aware, and I could go on. Yeah. I like meditation. I enjoy meditation.
Yeah, but you are an old practitioner also, I'm assuming, in whatever form.
Yes. Yeah.
I felt sleepy and distracted.
Mhm.
That's how I felt.
Okay.
I have never meditated before, ever.
So anybody who here who has tried meditation before but did not continue? I mean, anybody who has tried meditation and left because they couldn't sit for 5 minutes, 10 minutes also?
I did.
Who was that? I missed out.
Yes. I could not sit still because it was paining my back.
Okay. So
The posture did not help me, let me meditate. The posture of meditation.
yeah. So understand what happened in these 15-20 minutes, and different people would have experienced it to different levels depending on a lot of other factors. That we just, let's say somebody said that I felt a little sleepy but distracted. Now, distraction is very normal, and we should not feel that there's anything abnormal about being distracted, because what happens is, in this particular meditation, as a trainer, I am removing those impressions that are formed earlier. Now, when I remove those impressions, what happens is they bring the same experience of sometimes heaviness and distraction, because they are bringing that same experience with which they went in. So a lot of times, some practitioners will feel heaviness, they will feel distracted. That is very normal, especially for the initial practitioners. The second part is somebody felt that I felt sleepy but distracted. Now, understand, we are trying to bring the mind to a relaxed state. Now, when we bring the mind to the relaxed state, what happens is the only association of the mind to relaxation so far has been sleep. In the sleep, you feel relaxed. So the mind starts telling you that you went to sleep. In reality, you are not sleeping. The mind came into a relaxed state as a result of whatever we did just now. And then, because it was in a relaxed state, it was telling you that it fell asleep. But this sleep is different from the sleep that you have in the night. In the night, you are not even aware of what is happening in the sleep. You lose awareness. Whereas here, you are very aware of whenever, even though you felt very sleepy, you are very aware of what was there in the surrounding, which shows you or gives you an indication that this is not the same sleep that you had in the you normally have in the night. Now, for those who may be interested in continuing this or exploring this further, I have already given the website of the organization I am part of. You can explore that website, and you can also connect with me individually offline. And in case you are interested, we can. I will need to sit and meditate with you again for 2 or 3 consecutive sessions. And from that, the only requirement to start this practice is a willingness. You must be willing to do it. Because remember, the power that I am using, it just does not work if there's unwillingness on part of the practitioner. And the second thing is the person must be able to take out or devote 65 minutes of time every day for the practice in 3 different parts of the day. So it's not 65 minutes of meditation at one go, but 65 minutes of time you must be able to take out during the day in order to practice this effectively and see the results.
I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
You said you were working on removing the past impressions and all. Whilst we were meditating, were you doing something for us?
Yes.
What?
Removing those impressions and introducing pranahuti.
How?
So this is done through the willpower. So I've been trained by my guru such that I'm connected to an infinite source of energy.
Right.
Whatever you call the cosmic intelligence.
Okay.
So through that, using my willpower, I just channelize the energy to, I can channelize it to infinite number of people. So in this case, the channelization was only to the people who were here.
Okay.
So this works on the principle of sankalp. So we are trained in a certain way that whatever sankalp I will make, it will happen.
Right.
Okay. Thank you very much, Manish ji. I'll button here for paucity of time. We can take one more question.
Yeah. If there's anybody who wants to ask a question from
Absolutely.
either one of us.
Either. So we'll take
ask.
2 questions, one for each of you. And I leave it open. The forum is open to the participants and everybody sitting here. So let's take 1 question or 2 questions, 1 question each.
I must say this is a very passive group. People are not speaking.
Meenaji, it looks like everybody is now started, becoming more introspective, looking within, and therefore have become less, verbal.
That's a good one.
I have a question. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
I have a question that, see, when Manishi asked us to meditate, I was meditating and I was feeling sleepy, but I had a very blank mind. There were no thoughts, no nothing that was going inside it. But when I sleep in the night, I have a lot of these thoughts coming, which are past thoughts, which is everything else, and I dream about all that in this current thing. Now, what could that be related to? What could that possibly be due to?
So should I take this?
Yes, please.
Okay. So what happens is, whether you have thoughts or you don't have thoughts, you will never know. Just during this meditation itself, you may be having 150 thoughts. But whatever you pay attention to is actually what creates the impression of having thoughts or no thoughts. So in reality, I may be cleaning 150 impressions at one point in time, but you will only get whether you will feel disturbed or not disturbed based on what your mind is paying attention to. So remember, attention creates this issue of thoughts, no thoughts. If you are not attentive to those thoughts, they will go away. You will not even know that these thoughts were there.
Oh,
your subconscious mind is paying attention to those thoughts. So it's giving you a feeling that there are a lot of thoughts.
No, like right now, my mind was quite blank.
Yes, because your mind was not paying attention to the thoughts. You were focused on divine light in the heart.
Okay, that could possibly be that. It could possibly be that.
That's an interesting piece of advice.
I know.
I didn't know that. That if you don't attend to the thoughts, they will go away.
Thoughts
That's phenomenal.
Keep that in mind. And this is the entire secret of meditation, because when slowly, as we meditate more and more and we practice under guidance, what happens is our mind is connected to an infinite source. Our attention is all the time on that infinite source. So whatever disturbance we are facing in worldly life goes away, not because the disturbance has gone away, the cause of disturbance. It's just that our attention to it is much less.
Okay. Thank you so much, Manish.
Yeah. In fact, I can chip in here and I can tell you that what Manish has told you is a very vital factor, that you don't pay attention and it melts away. the thought melts away. It melts away in both situations. One is you don't pay attention, and second is you accept it कि हाँ आया है ख्याल, but you don't give it importance. This thought has come to me, and I'm thinking, the thoughts come to me because I'm alive, I'm breathing. It's a testimony that I'm alive. So if you take your thoughts not as कि मैं बुरी हूँ, what is this thought? Why is this thought coming? Why is this negative thought coming? Oh, I'm very nice, I'm thinking of something good. No, don't go into the quality of thought. Don't try to decipher the thought, to analyze the thought. Just accept the thought as a testimony to being alive. So if you tell the thought, yeah, I'm thinking, so you're treating it very casually. You're not giving it importance. You're just saying, yeah, I thought. So wo dhire dhire, they start melting. The thoughts start melting. And the other thing, like Manishji said, think of yourself as that you have a light in your heart. You have a light in your heart. You have a breath which is going everywhere. When I conduct my meditation sessions, I play on the breath. I make it a game, and that is why I call my sessions joyful meditation, the joy of meditation. And basically, for beginners, it's a very good way to start. So that is how I lead them into meditation, by making them see a very joyful side of, practicing this meditation. So that is what happens. So when you play with your breath, and when you play with your breath, then automatically you will want to come back to it. Otherwise, you have to try and concentrate. There's a difference between concentration and meditation, right? That also you must understand. And once you understand the difference between, because meditation is not concentration, right? So once you understand the difference and you start playing, you start enjoying your breath. Uske saath khelo, play with your breath. And that is when you start enjoying it and you start getting into it. And slowly and gradually, then your own joy, your own self will lead you. It happened with me. I used to sit anywhere. Even I was very fidgety in the beginning. I had backache and this and that. But I realized that on my own, slowly and gradually, my body started commanding itself and folding itself, collecting itself, and coming to a position automatically. It all happened with me. Okay. On to you.
Thank you so much, Manish ji and Meena ji. I think this is wonderful. Today's topic is something, today's discussion is something which people have taken multiple lives to practice. And different schools of thought, different people from different walks of life have put in their own experience, their own worldview, their own practice. I think today is just a little bit, it's like a drop in the ocean, but what an amazing enlightenment it has given to the group over here. With this, I would like to just say this much. What I felt as somebody who was part of your group, and what I have heard from my gurus is Chidanand, Chidanand, Chidanand hu. Har haal mein almast Satchidanand hu. Sat Chit Anand hu. अगर ये तीन है हमारे पास, और अगर हम सही में ब्लिसफुल होना चाहते हैं, पीसफुल से ब्लिसफुल तक जो जर्नी है, वो जर्नी सत, चित और आनंद में है, हर हाल में अलमस्त होने में. अगर हमारे मन में ये भावना है, if we come with this feeling that loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, then by itself we have already got into this whole world of collective happiness, this collective inner peace. With this, I would like to say thank you very much, all of you, for this wonderful, wonderful session. Your views, your thoughts, something which, has given me, and I'm sure the group sitting over here, a lot to think about, a lot to go back to and practice. And definitely we come from a culture, we come from a practice, a complete, a spiritual practice that has explored meditation in its various forms. I don't want to get into that. With this, thank you very much. I think we are all extremely grateful to all of you, both Manishji and Meenaji. Thank you very much. With this, I'll hand it over to the coordinators. I'll hand it over to.
I would just like to say one thing, that if anybody
Sure,
wants to
Meenaji.
connect with me, you're free to connect with me. You can take my number and all details from Rajiv ji, and you can connect with me. I can, anybody who wishes to connect with me is most welcome.
Thank you so much.
Sushim, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah, Sushim, could you please take over? The stage is yours. Narendra ji?
Yeah, I'm just playing the video.
Haji. Haji.
Last.
आवाज नहीं आ रही है, वॉल्यूम जरा ज्यादा कीजिए प्लीज.
जीना के हैं जीना परिवार हमारा, चारों ओर खुशी फैलाने का है अपना नारा. कष्ट गरीबी दुख हरने का हम संकल्प उठाएं, धरती को कुटुंब करने के लिए प्रयास बढ़ाएं. कष्ट गरीबी दुख हरने का हम संकल्प उठाएं, धरती को कुटुंब करने के लिए प्रयास बढ़ाएं. हम सदस्य जीना के हैं, जीना परिवार हमारा, चारों ओर खुशी फैलाने का है अपना नारा. सबको रोजी रोटी हो और सबको हो खुशहाली, हो निर्बाध विचार भावना सदा सीखने वाली. सबको रोजी रोटी हो और सबको हो खुशहाली, हो निर्बाध विचार भावना सदा सीखने वाली. हम सदस्य जीना के हैं, जीना परिवार हमारा, चारों ओर खुशी फैलाने का है अपना नारा. दया क्षमा नैतिकता हो और हो सम्मान सभी का, सबको यूं अपना माने के दिल ना दुखे किसी का. दया क्षमा नैतिकता हो और हो सम्मान सभी का, सबको यूं अपना माने के दिल ना दुखे किसी का. हम सदस्य जीना के हैं, जीना परिवार हमारा, चारों ओर खुशी फैलाने का है अपना नारा. हम सदस्य जीना के हैं, जीना परिवार हमारा, चारों ओर खुशी फैलाने का है अपना नारा.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you are.
Actually, we had quite a few last moment adjustments to make today, and I'm very happy that
Can
still.
you become visible also, please?
Oh, well, okay. Of course, I can be visible.
Yes, please do.
Give me just 1 sec.
Sure.
Oh my God. Is it okay now?
It is.
Okay. As I was saying that we today have had quite a few last moment adjustments to make. And so we could not, which I do promise that we'll formally be introducing Mirdula Bana at some point of time. We'll have a lot of occasions to do that. But formally, we have Pratul Bhaiya available with us. He is legally and formally the president of this Zana Outreach Foundation. May I request him to just take on the vote of thanks?
Thank you. Thank you, Rajiv. Today's discussion actually was very useful for your internal, spiritual development, and it's very important in our lives to come out of certain, negative things in our mind and replace it with some positive thoughts so that we work towards the betterment of the society in a better way, and do not get agitated or stressed out because of the problems being faced. So I would like to thank our MC, Dr. Poonam Arora. The technical facilitator, Sushim Sudha, has also done a wonderful job. And of course, the recording has been done by Mr. Narendra Mishra. I'm very thankful to him. Then the keynote address and welcome address was given by Priyanka Manjari, which was quite thought-provoking. Then Madam Meena Tilakraj, she has given, she has been into this field and she has shared her experience and knowledge in this regard. So I'm very thankful to her also. And Mr. Manish Agrawal, actually I joined, I was busy in some other important work, so that's why I could not come in the beginning. But I started hearing from Mr. Manish Agrawal, listening to him. And then some comments of Madam Meena Tilakraj. Manish Agrawal also, he has certain, this method of meditation, which he has suggested. And they are available to anybody who wants to discuss it further. So I'm really thankful to him also, because this is useful for each one of us. So a great day today for discussing out the happiness through inner peace. And then Mridula Das ji also, she has spoken a few things, important things. So I'm thankful to her also. And unfortunately, Sanjay Prasad was on his way to his home because he had gone to his sister's house for Rakhi. So he could not join us. But anyway, it was a very nice day today and very nice presentations by all concerned. So I'm really thankful to each one of us. Thank you.